Good morning. I got FSD 14 Lite last night, so I decided to do a quick test of it this morning before work. I'm a little too excited by finally getting an update. It's 14 Lite, so we have all the features of 14, but not the smarts of it. I can't do the full testing, so let's just do a quick test. And I want to go this way, and we can just press the start button in theory. I have options for parking lot or drive. Let's actually just do pull over for the car wash. All right, we're going. And this is another situation where I was parked straight out, so nothing too crazy there. We'll see how this goes. I won't be able to probably do the highway today. Just that's going to add extra time, and I have to get to work, and I work from home. So, yeah, we'll do the quick city test and see how things go with that. Now, there's almost always a car parked here. How do we move around it? Mostly ignore it. That's fine. Looks like we will have a car in front of us for the stop sign, so it will have an easier time. I'll have to test this again later and see if I can get it to not really, or I'll see how this stop sign behaves when there's no cars there. But let's see how smooth this stop is anyway. It's still coming up on a little fast. Oh, that was a lot better. I'll have to check the footage, but I don't think we ended up using the friction brakes. But the deceleration there was a lot smoother feeling. And we did have a car in front, so that may have helped. We weren't going as fast, but I will definitely have a lot more testing of that later. Let me make sure my auto wipers are on. They are. Okay. We're getting just a little bit of rain this morning. Now this turn, especially this time of day, I don't know how it's going to be. Good creep. That all felt great. Can't tell if it was really different. Maybe creeped a little bit differently, a little less aggressively. If there was a car coming, they'd maybe see that I wasn't pulling out. This turn could also be busy this time of day, but looks like it'll be easy. That felt about the same. Okay. So it pulls up, says we're going to pull over near destination. That is fine. I'm not going to go through the car wash. I don't think it's even open yet. I mostly just want to see if it pulls into the correct spot. Completely ignores that. Perfect. Now this McDonald's may have a line coming out. Now I am worried here. It does look like that's pulling into the exit. Now the gate is down, so if it sees that, it should just keep going straight. Come on. Nope. Pulling into the gated exit for the car wash. Interesting, this is black now. If we just end, let's just add this and just start. I just want to see it park in this parking lot. This should be pretty easy. And they're closed right now anyway. So it will decide to pull forward. There's no one around, so it should be able to just get this perfect. And it stopped, and that's close enough for me. Let's go to the next one. That would be the pizza place. Just start. We do want parking lot there. This is the first time my car has ever backed up on its own. This car over here is probably confused why I'm just driving around an empty parking lot. Um, should be able to get out of here no problem. He does not seem to care about that. Great, which is fine. There's another one here. Like, I'd prefer to go a little around it, but those ones aren't too bad. Let's pull this up. Clear left, clear right. That felt good. Hopefully we can make this green. Um, Wrong lane to get into because then we're getting back over into this lane. Going straight into the turn lane would have been correct. Good to go through that yellow. These people are already creeping. That behavior around the double yellow did feel like we had a better curve and we didn't cross over it as much, but I'll have to check the previous recording to see how noticeable that is. Now, I have mentioned it sometimes with speed here on the old one. We're sitting at 35, which is perfect in my opinion. We'll have to see how that changes from going from the 40 to the 30, but I'll have to do that test later. I didn't notice it avoiding the manhole covers, but I wasn't paying that close attention to that. I can check the recording for that, but I imagine that was just the same. Here, yep, parking lot is correct. There is no driveway. Not sure how the traffic will be down here this morning. We'll see how it controls for this yellow here. There is a car there, slowing down nicely. That felt really good to me. Oh, actually, it can't make a right here. And it continues forward. It sees that that's closed and continues forward. This is a do not enter. And we got honked at. Attempted to go into a do not enter, which caused a dangerous situation. I was not expecting that other thing to be right there, so that is bad on me. I could have just let it go through, but that would have been incorrect. That positioning was good. So we will not be able to go back out that way. Okay, it's going to turn left and then maybe right into here. Yeah, I'll let it park, and we won't be able to test the where it was trying to go left. So we'll see. Seems okay. Seemed a little confused, but it's backing up, which is good. Though it's maybe trying to control for that pothole that it's going to put us in. Not a good parking job, in my opinion. Way too far to the left here, trying to maybe avoid this pothole, but could definitely have done that better. Charging station is the next one. The map does not show that left, so that's actually correct. So it's not going to go that way. Now, the problem is that it wants to go a way that is closed, and I may have to control for that. I'm going to see. There is not an option for, yeah. That road is currently closed. I could have let it go. I already probably weirded those people out earlier, though. Let's just do this. And it did change to going behind. I want it to go this way instead. Can I add a stop to get it to go straight? And these are not marked right now, but from the past, yes, this is the correct way, correct lane to be in. now I can get it to go that way. It has the turn signal on, which is wrong. I'm turning that off just to not confuse that driver. Um, that was way too early to turn turn signal on, but it might have been because I was rerouting. Now I don't have parking lot selected. I just have it as park. I'm curious, will it know it's a charger and try to back into the charger? We're going past it, so no. It's trying to go to the pin. And it will back in here, but the chargers are actually over there. So maybe if I get Google to update their, if I get that location updated in Google, maybe it will be better. This parking job is, I think, acceptable. Definitely not even, but definitely been worse. Let's do the park. And let's go that way. Now, it does have maybe the actual parking lot pulled up. I will pick parking lot for that one and leave this in standard. And let's just expand that. Left out of here. I have the whole route visible there, but that's fine. That's all good. There's a school bus. Probably won't get to test with that, and if it fails that test, I will get a ticket. So that's all good. Let's see, will it go around? Does not go around this parking space, but that is, again, fine. No one really does at this time of day when no one's there. Looks like we just missed someone coming over the bridge. We may end up getting another, but I don't want to freak anyone else out this morning like I did when it was going into the do not enter. A little fast for my preference, but there's no one there, so it's fine. I do feel like 1264 handled the speed of that better, where it was more cautious on the approach. But that was still fine. Had someone been coming, which again, we just barely timed it wrong. Had someone been coming, we would have had to stop pretty abruptly as soon as we saw them and then back up, assuming that they were already on the bridge. I don't know if there's specific rules for that, but basically whoever is furthest wins. They're waiting on this person to realize they have a green. They're turning anyway. This person's turning left. As soon as they start, we go. Now, last time it missed one of the speed bumps. So we'll see if that's any better. We should be going past both. Actually, the parking lot, it has pulled up. That's the weather. May not even be a parking lot. There's a puddle here, which we avoided. Yeah, there's not a parking lot there. But there is this P here at this parking lot. So we'll see how this handles it. Now, this other speed bump is down below. I can very clearly see it. You should be able to see it too. So the car should be able to see it. It is slowing for it. Now, I would park in this parking lot to the left. But I think it's going to end up, it's thinking about it. Okay, it is going to go left. And it has gone left here before. on 12.6.4. Now it should decide to park. It can just go straight into a spot if it wants, which I think that's what it's going to do. A little far from the pin. You could have parked up here and been fine too, but that's perfectly acceptable to me. So I think next we would normally do the FedEx, but I don't necessarily want to do that. So let's do home and let's do that bridge again. Okay, I have driveway as an option, but most people I've seen have charger. So that's interesting. Driveway is fine for me. I have the whole thing pulled up again. Let me change that. Driveway is correct. I think that person over there maybe just taking a nap in their car. Well, it's not going to be 8 yet. I maybe do have time to do the FedEx. Okay, that was nice. It handled that. Please. Sorry, I'm talking and thinking. It handled the speed bump and that turn very nicely, actually. It handled this speed bump great, going down to like 5 miles per hour. Perfect. That I think is even a slower speed than we were seeing before, which is perfect. This should be easy. We'll go across. We didn't need to stop for them, but it's cautious, so that's fine. It is 45, about to be 30. So we'll see how fast the car changes. We do have people ahead, so it will have something to go off of. Oh, I'm getting the wobbling that people have mentioned. I've never gotten it before. On 12.6.4, I never saw that, and I just did a couple 100 miles on it this past weekend for a trip. So I am seeing some of that like ping pong behavior. Okay, no one coming the other way, so nothing to worry about there. Position feels fine if someone did show up. No pedestrians crossing, so we're good there. Oh, that's nice. They put in a little like community garden kind of thing over there. I hadn't seen that before. That was just an empty lot. Looks like I just hit the turn, that turn earlier perfectly for when there were people. Because it's open now. Now it looks like we have flaggers. Something happening up here. It looks like maybe they're just repainting. But it does look like there's a person directing traffic. We will probably just get to go forward with this, but I'm going to keep my feet near the pedals just in case I need to take over. Good. And it biased all the way over, which was good to give them more room. I am curious how the pedestrian behavior is on this version. I mentioned on 12.6.4 that it didn't always give as much space for pedestrians as I would like, especially on the like back neighborhood roads. Not trying to avoid these manhole covers at all. That's fine. Hardware 4 maybe would see that that's different and would Maybe try to control around it a little bit, but um, I'm not expecting hardware 3 to. Now we should stay left. Last time it went right, and it did end up going around a large truck, and that was fine. The staying left is correct. It did stay left this time. Most of the time it stays left, so that's not surprising. It's honestly surprising that 1264 decided to go into the right lane, but the left lane was pretty backed up. Handling that speed limit change perfectly. Stayed at 35 until that happened, and then sped up. Will it just? Yeah, it's going to very strongly obey the double yellow rule there. Um, that's fine as long as if there's a lot of cars here, it's better to just park on the double yellow to fit another car in and prevent backups. This will be the first time on the highway with this version. I mean, obviously, all of this video is new, so highway's probably not hugely different. So I will probably just fast forward again. Maybe throw some KSP music in there, but let's get this merge first. Easy merge, no comments. All right, I would personally get into the left lane and go around. We do have a person coming up behind us on the left, but after that it's clear. I would expect standard to still do that. We're going 3 under the speed limit, just drafting behind this bus. So I'm not going to change profiles, but I'm really considering it. I'm not sure why it hasn't decided to. Maybe there's 2 more people who are going to end up passing us. And maybe the car will decide at that point, like, oh yeah, maybe passing is a good idea. No, still doesn't. Okay. I am going to scroll up, right? Yeah, to hurry, see if that changes it. Okay, hurry, it decided to. Very quick acceleration on that. I'm going to swap back to standard because I don't actually want to go necessarily the hurry speeds around here, especially on this turn. There is a person behind me now. Will this person let me pass safely? Yes. Okay. And getting right over because there is a person immediately behind me who wants to go 80 plus. Yep, parking lot is correct for that. No other options. That makes sense. Now we'll see. I expect the car won't do this, but we saw people who were turning right here just sort of squeezing through. This person's maybe giving me room to let me do that, but I don't think the car is going to try to. That's okay. We'll wait for the green. Though there's a person pulling up behind us who's making a right. Yep, the green's here, so no worries. We will have to test right on red at another time, it seems. Get over one. Yeah, that person didn't turn corresponding, so it very handled that very well, actually. We turned correspondingly and then tried to get into the next lane. They had just gone straight into that lane, and so we stayed in our lane, just slowed down, let them pass. Now, I believe the FedEx is closed, so we. No, it's not actually. So there are other people. Do not try to go in the back. Looks like the tentacle says it's not going to, so that's good. Parking anywhere up here is fine. I'm betting it'll back in again. This is all customer parking. Then we get into the handicap parking, which is, we don't want that. If we park up to the left, that will be basically the same as before. Now we're waiting awkwardly. I'm gonna hit the accelerator. Accelerator doesn't. I'm forcing it with the accelerator, just because there are people waiting, and it's sort of awkward, and I don't actually know where my car is going. This feels more like employee parking than customer parking. And we are now passing multiple spots. Okay, it's just going to pick a random spot back here, and it feels like it's going to park really badly. Yeah, we are pretty badly on the line there, so that's pretty bad. But yeah, that was weird. As a is that a is there a valid way out there? It says yes, but that feels incorrect. No, that's going to have to go through a gate in order to do what it wants to do. So we'll see what this does. If I was coming here to drop something off, though, that was probably the worst parking spot it could have picked. Okay, it's going to have to turn around. I guess this is a good test. Is it just going to park? No. Okay. It got really far in that parking spot. I was a little confused by that. Okay. Now, the nav is still incorrect. There's a gate there. It can't go that way. This person's fixing their parking job. Now, the nav may update. Person's crossing. Good handling there. All right, yeah, nav updated, so we should be able to get out of here. So it did not trap itself, which is an improvement over the last time we came over here. Yep, person coming around, so we should just swing around. I'm not sure how easy it is to tell here, but yeah, any of this is basically customer parking, and all would have been completely valid. I maybe thought there was a wet spot on the ground there that it may have misinterpreted. That person cut that turn kind of close, so that was awkward. But no one's going to be leaving at this time because I don't think that the customer portion is actually open. So that's something for me to keep in mind if I decide to do this test this early again. Okay, we can go. A little bit of hesitancy there. I'm not sure if that showed up on the tentacle or not. We have a green, but they would like to turn. That was the right time to turn the turn signal on. I think it turned it on too early last time. Now, all of these people are cutting this corner really close. We're stopping pretty far back because of that, which is good. But I think we could creep up now that there's no one making that turn. Yeah, and perhaps because we weren't far enough up, we didn't get the arrow. Yeah, it looks like there's a disabled vehicle there, making an interesting circumstance here where there's people turning that way. We can go, but it decided to wait for that car. Again, fine, but it was hesitant, jumping forward, backward, um, or like accelerating and then not accelerating. Um, all right, sorry, I'm just paying attention to the on ramp. Um, Still thinks it's 40, which means we're not going the speed limit. There is a truck that we will have to get behind. Now the speed limit is updated. We should be able to just fit in here just fine. For the situation, that was fine. We couldn't have gotten up to 65 because the truck isn't going that fast. Now, this is a situation where I would pass when this car goes. I would flip the blinker on and pass here. Now would be a great time for it because there's no one behind us for a while, no one in the left lane. We're going 3 under the speed limit. Now we are 2 miles from our exit, but that's plenty of time. Now that it's totally cleared, we could get around and in front of them without any concern. It is interesting to see Standard deciding not to pass. 1264 Standard would have. As we get within a mile or so, it wouldn't necessarily. Uh, it maybe still would for someone going under the speed limit like this. The Swans are out. You probably can't see them in the video, but there's a pair of swans that are in that pond each year, which is always fun to see. They have new babies each year, so it's fun to see them grow up. All right, taking our exit. We never passed that truck, even though we were going below the speed limit on standard. So that's interesting behavior. Now, this is the most important thing for me from all of 14 Lite is whether or not I need to disengage because it gets into the wrong lane here. Um, Now, if it turns the turn signal on, then I will turn the turn signal off. And if it obeys that and doesn't make the lane change, then that's still a win for me. The 1264 would make the lane change even if I turn the signal off. It's not doing it. It's not changing lanes. This is huge for me because I know it's a small thing. Okay, that person's gonna. I guess that was fine, but that was a little risky of a ride on red. Um, I would have to disengage there almost every drive. So it making that correctly is big for me, and I realize that's not a huge like safety critical thing, but it was consistent. Now this is a sort of awkward situation. I would say yeah, we should go. There's still people um, coming the other way, so she wouldn't have been able to turn out of there yet. Now we may need to make this turn. Okay, the person behind us is turning as well, so they're not going to try to go around us. That was easy. A little bit crossing the yellow there, which is fine. We should move perfectly. Yep, just move to the right, or I'm sorry, move onto the double yellow there. We may see some walkers and such around. This will be a good test. Will it give this walker space? But they're crossing, so never mind. I mean, I will say that space was fine. And now they cross back. Smart on them to just stay away from the cars, but unfortunate I didn't get to see if that was any better. All right, turning onto my street. Will it go in my driveway? Will it know which driveway is the correct one? I mean, the pin is pretty much in line with like where mine is. Slowing, froze for a moment. Oh, it is gonna pull into my driveway. Will it pull into my garage? Garage door's opening. Are you waiting for the garage door to open? Nope, you're just gonna. This is not a good place to park in my driveway. No, don't back out. You know what? Whatever. Let's see what it does. I've got a little bit of time. Let's see it back out of my driveway and then potentially just. Nope. Okay, it backed up. No. Oh, I did it with no destination. Choosing one from maps. Interesting. So it's just going to pick somewhere. Let's pick home. See if it will just go around. Oh no, maybe this will convince it to back in. Okay, there's two things it can do here. It can either pull into my garage or park in front of the trailer. That was good. Will it pull all the way into the garage? That positioning in the garage looks about right. It's a little close on the left. That positioning is not good. I can't easily open my door. I don't think the garage door can close. So I will correct that. But interesting that it can do it in, at all. So this positioning is that positioning is correct. So yeah, that was an interesting test. Definitely some improvements. Obviously, new features. Um, yeah, let me know what other tests you want to see. I have some other things I can think of trying, but that's all I had for now. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. See if we can open up the self-driving stats and if it doesn't take 20 minutes because Intel. 89%, longest streak 11 miles. That was just the one we just did. So